jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports.
Building. Samad on deck. Peace and blessings below. Salute WCS certified stamp. The like button. Yes, sir. Sunday, just like it was when the fight cards ended. You know what I'm saying? So it's been hours. You know what I'm saying? It's been some hours. But salute to you. Hope all is well this morning, brother. Big blunts and boxing on deck. Salute to you, the GOAT in the building. You already know, man. Big shout out to the supporters. As always, those who support the channel. Man, appreciate the you know what I'm saying, the consistency. It's everything. So we have some hot topics as always. Two of the hottest topics that's in combat sports, really. You know what I'm saying? But first, I need to send a PSA out to you that owe me. You need to come off that stack and a half, and you need to own up to your word. If you don't, I'm gonna light your ass up. I'm gonna light your ass up and put the checks out there and everything else. You better give me my money. See, dudes out here making bets, and they truly believe that, well, my intention is not to pay up. You know what I'm saying? But if he loses, I'm gonna make sure I collect. That's the kind of feeling that I'm getting. Bro, give me my money, man. We better stack and a half on TO. I did. And you was for sure Josh Taylor was gonna win. So I'm gonna keep you the man. I'm gonna keep you at your word, big dog. You know, I give you around, let me see, about 48. I give you 48. I'll let you get into the week so you can get with your coworkers and try to find out how you're gonna do this. But you shouldn't bet if you cannot pay up when it's time for somebody that you lost to collect. Real talk. But that's all I'm gonna say on that, man. Bruce Guys, Boxing Jazz, and more. Salute to you, brother. The OG in the building. Salute, brother WCS. Salute to you, Bruce. Dion Washington, what's good? Hey, it's all good, man. We're about to get on that. Get into that, Dion. Shout out to Dion, man. He been out there working, putting in that pavement. You know what I'm saying? He been putting in that pavement work. You know what I'm saying? Dropping weight. Hey, man, I see it. You know what I'm saying? I see you out there grinding. Whatever your motivation is, that's awesome, man. It's never too late to jump in there and grind it out, man. It ain't never, ever too late, bro. If your body can still hold up to it, you know what I'm saying? You can get up there and run, incline sprints and, you know what I'm saying, out there working out in the gym. Your body's still holding. You good. You good. Real talk. So I'm going to start off by talking about the GOAT, the one and only Amanda Nunes. Yes, the GOAT herself, 2-weight world champion in the females division. She's considered the best women's MMA fighter of all time, hailing out of the UFC. Um, Amanda Nunez record is 23-5. I think she came into the sport around 08, if I'm not mistaken. But check out some of the names that Amanda Nunez has to her MMA registry, yo. She's fought the who's who in women's combat sports. Kat Zingano. You know what I'm saying? She fought Jermaine Durandamy. She fought Sarah Kaufman. I mean, Kat Zingano twice. Shannon Baszler. Sarah McMahon. Valentina Shevchenko twice. Misha Tate. Ronda Rousey. Raquel Pennington. Chris Cyborg. Holly Holmes. A lot of these opponents she did fight twice, but that's the one thing about the Ultimate Fighting Championship. They allow fighters to fight each other twice. Julia Pena, she fought her twice. Megan Anderson, she fought. All these are considered top level female fighters and former champions. You know what I'm saying? And former champions. We know Holly Holmes was former champion. She's the one that upset Ronda Rousey. Chris Cyborg was reigning defending featherweight champion. She upset her. Valentina Shevchenko was reigning at the 125-pound division for quite some time before she just recently lost. But for a long time, the only female to beat her was Amanda Nunez. And that was at 135 pounds, the bantamweight division. But I want to salute Amanda Nunez, man. She is considered the GOAT of female MMA. There's a little bit of question here and there. GOAT of MMA, okay, I might, but combat sports, I don't know. Because Chris Cyborg has pretty much been a champion in every organization that she's fought in. Real talk, she's been a champion. Even Ronda Rousey, when she was reigning, she would not fight Chris Cyborg at 140. You know what I'm saying? She wouldn't do it. She wouldn't do what Amanda Nunez did. Chris Cyborg was riding, her Battle Galactica Starship, the 135 as long as she possibly could. And when it came time for, people that was chiming in on her fighting Chris Cyborg, she never stepped up to the plate. But Amanda Nunez did. And it was at a time where, the division, the 145-pound featherweight division was pretty much made for Chris Cyborg to come down there and fight. And then Amanda Nunez, her and Chris Cyborg ended up getting into a firefight and it didn't work out too well for Chris. She ended up being stopped. And Amanda went on to become champ. That is a historical feat, especially for a female fighter. Up to that point, nothing but male fighters had done it. But I want to give a big salute to Amanda Nunez, man. She is absolutely the lioness. It's fitting. She actually looked like a lioness. Brazilian, you know what I'm saying? Age 35. Absolutely a beast. She was asked about running it back with Julia Pena. She really don't care. I understand. But I feel right at this point where she left off in her career with the last opponent last night, Irene Aldana. She did what she was supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? She did what she was supposed to do. And nobody can dispute that. I mean, she pretty much ran through everybody that was at the bantamweight division. And it wasn't too much going on at the 145-pound division. So the only loss she had in, you're talking about the last 11, 12 fights, was Julia Pena. And that's because she wasn't in shape and she gassed out and Julia Pena subbed her out. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to Amanda Nunez, man. Shout out to you. You deserve all the accolades. Very stand-up female. One of the females that I really liked as a fighter. She was pretty much all around fighter, where it was stand up striking, her kicks, ground game, and then mentioning her kicks, right? The reason why she was on crutches, it wasn't like the fight was that intense to the point where it was an all out war, but she has nerve damage in her leg, and that's big when it comes to you know a full contact sport like mixed martial arts, because you do have to use all 8 limbs. You can use all 8 limbs, and you know what I'm saying. And over time, I guess she has spoken about nerve damage in her leg, so she had to walk on crutches, to the post fight presser, and I'm pretty sure she'll get that checked out, neuropathy, get that taken care of. But salute to her, man. Ending her career, and I truly believe that she'll be out of the sport and she won't return unless they offer her big money. But her record was 23 victories, 5 defeats. Shout out to the lioness, the GOAT herself, Amanda Nunes. Yes, sir. Congrats to you, sister. Don Vaughn on deck. What it do? Salute WCS in the chat. Amanda retired at her peak, having good health after combat. Most important aspect. She has pretty decent health. She does have some physical ailments that's going on. Like I said, with the nerve damage in her leg. Fighters go through a lot with numbing those nerves. You have to think at the end of the day, they're nerves. They're nerves now. At the end of the day, they're nerves. And, a lot is how you wired. Over time, you damage those nerves, and nerves, it can cause you to, be a bit gimp, as they call it, you know? So you're talking about a fighter who jumped out the cage and she had to go to the presser on crutches because she had nerve damage in her leg that she had there before she even fought. So, like I said, it's all good, deadening those nerves and everything so you can kick your opponent, and then they check your kick with a shin. You're still able to keep going. You take somebody that haven't went through that and they kick somebody and they check, they check your kick. You're damn near gonna be in pain for hours because your leg isn't conditioned for that type of physicality. But shout out to you. Shout out to Jamal Neezy in the building. Good morning, brother. What's good with it? Appreciate you pulling up, man. Don said people don't realize adrenaline block pain after fights. Guys like John Jones come on crutches and wheelchairs. Yeah, man. John Jones, messed his foot up that time. I mean, it was real bad. And he still fought through it. Man. Mr. Pass, what's good? Peace, WCS. I think, if anything, he'll be back next year. Okay? That's what's up. Let's talk about my guy, Teofimo Lopez, right? Heading into this fight, the only thing that separated Josh Taylor and Teofimo Lopez was there's a fighter that had one loss, right? And one that was undefeated. And they was at different divisions, all right? You had a separation from a lightweight undisputed to 140 undisputed. I always talk about undisputed because I try to explain to people what the format is with Mauricio Suleiman and how the franchise belt still exists in boxing today, right? That's facts. It still exists in boxing, all right? So Teofimo Lopez has since left the lightweight division in his rear view, never to return again. On God, how people say on God. You remember I did a live stream, right? And I spoke about how Teo should move up from 135. And I was saying that he needs, to stay ahead. He needs to go ahead and have people catching up. And it's good for him to go ahead and move up to 140. So those individuals at 135 can continue to play catch up to him. He go up there and get a title, they still going to be behind. Those opponents that was chasing him down to 135, they're gonna have to try to play catch up at 140, especially if he has a belt, right? Lo and behold, Teo is now a 2-division world champion, and he has the ring to go along with it and the WBO championship. Now, heading into this fight, like always, I tried to explain to people that Teo was going to be all right. He was going to go in there and perform way different than he did with Sandor Martin. And he did just that. He dominated Josh Taylor. And people can't say it was an old Josh Taylor because don't let me start doing comparisons. Josh Taylor's 32 years old, but yet y'all saying Spence, who was around that age too, and everybody else, you have plenty of other fighters that's in their 30s. I think Regis up there, if I'm not mistaken, or he may be late 20s. It's plenty of fighters, but most of all, Lomachenko is one of the oldest. And Teo will always have him on his resume as a fighter that he defeated fair and square, who was on the pound for pound list. You can't deny him that. Looking at what I look at what I was seeing on the YTC leading up. People are, Teo he has his fans or he has his naysayers just the way he wants them. When he was set to fight Lomachenko, it was the same type of aura in the air in here, doubtful aura. People didn't think he can do it. People was doubting him. People was shutting him down. Talking about he's gonna get knocked out. He's gonna get his ass kicked. He's gonna get, what I'm saying, he's gonna get the bad end of the stick overall. Period. Didn't happen. Same thing with Josh Taylor. Josh Taylor gave them a whole different picture. You know what I'm saying? This dude right here never been defeated. Tough fighter, but he was at a higher division. They were saying, Teo, no, he gonna get his ass kicked. He gonna get stopped, blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? He got beat by Kambosos. He looked like shit against Sandor. He gonna get beat. He got personal problems and all that. You didn't see any of that in the ring. You didn't see none of that. That man went in there and dominated Josh Taylor. Let's see some of the numbers. Let's see some of the numbers before we get back to the accolades. Look at these numbers, yo. Power punches thrown 194 to 343. Landed 60 from Josh Taylor, and Teo doubled that. He doubled punches landed. The percentage 31% for Josh Taylor and 40% for Teo. And then body shots, 27 for Josh Taylor, and he doubled it. 39 for Teo. That right there, people, was what you seen play out in front of your eyes. You know what I'm saying? I told you he was playing with y'all, but y'all didn't want to damn take it. Once again, you don't have to listen. You can hear me, but you don't have to listen. I said he will fight totally different than he did with Sandor Martin, man, and he will look good doing it. And not one time in the fight, Josh Taylor was in control. Teo pretty much blasted that man. He was even throwing shots. He was even throwing shots, leaving his feet and landing on Josh Taylor. You know what I'm saying? He was in there having a good time, dancing around. It wasn't really a jab etiquette type of striking display. It wasn't. Josh Taylor came out with the jab a little bit. But for Teo, he was throwing anything he felt like. He was in rhythm and emotion. He was kind of dancing in there. His footwork was extremely better than Josh Taylor. His movement and his defense kept Josh Taylor thinking. You know what I'm saying? Kept him off his timing. Josh was sticking more to the fundamentals. He attempted to stick to the fundamentals. Jab, jab, jab. 1, 2. Just trying to stay fundamentally where he need to be with Teo. You just couldn't do that shit, bro. You just couldn't do that with somebody that was moving and being all awkward like Teo, and landing these shots from all angles. And I'm talking about speed. Wasn't there some people in here saying that Josh Taylor had better speed than Teo? That wasn't the case. Teo's speed was much better. You know what I'm saying? The way he put his combinations. Yep. And of course, the power. The power of Teofimo Lopez was much greater than Josh Taylor. He hurt him several times in the fight. And at times when Josh tried to get dirty, with the headbutt, and one time he tried to crank Teo's arm. I don't know if y'all seen that, but they was in a clinch, and Teo was trying to move away, and Josh Taylor tried to wrench his arm or whatever, but the referee didn't do anything about it. But that's kind of like a move they do in BJJ too, when you're in the clinch and wrenching your opponent's arm to just another way to take them to the ground, but can cause severe damage when it comes to the joint. You know what I'm saying? The elbow. But um, look at these accolades, right? Look at these accolades that Teofimo was able to accomplish, by winning yesterday. We already know what he did at 135. That goes without saying. People can say what they want about what he didn't do and what they see him as, undisputed, or whether they don't. The fact still remains that he's now a current reigning defending champion in a hot division, in a very, you feel me? You have Subriel Matias, you have Raul Romero, you have Regis Prograis. Prograis is at the WBC, Romero is at the WBA, and Matias is at the IBF. You tell me. That is a hot division right now. You know what I'm saying? We'll take 3 out of 4. We'll take 3 out of 4 the champions being certified. Subriel Matias certified. Regis Prograis certified. Teofimo Lopez certified. And then the other guy, we still waiting on that. They haven't paid the postage yet. We still waiting on him to see if he's certified. I just can't put him up there as being certified with all the other champions. No, we're not doing that. But what I can say, I hope y'all understand what I mean by how Team Lopez moves. I hope you don't go forward looking at every bit and piece on how this dude act. What did he say after the fight? He said, I might retire. I'm retire. I might retire, right? And then he went up there and he put in an IG post that he was retiring. You know what I'm saying? I put it in the thumbnail. He said he was retiring. So pretty much I'm trying to explain to you all once again that this guy, Teofimo Lopez, is very unique in how he play mind games and puppetize the audience. He does. Now, in hindsight, people say, "Oh man, he didn't do anything. He didn't have me believe in anything." I told you, him and his pops are very good at what they do. If you want to talk about actors, if you want to talk about drawing people in, they do it different than a lot of fighters, bro. A lot of fighters do the same cliche stuff, you know what I'm saying, leading up to a fight. These guys really take you as if they're in Hollywood. They would give you some real life reality TV shit, just like he was doing an interview. And his dad comes, "Hey, bro, don't talk like that." He said, "Man, he was going back and forth. His dad said, "Don't be a bitch, just accept it." This, that, and the other, bro. They get them every single time. They get them, man. And look, they get them so much to the fact that people start to really get close to the story, the script. They say, "Oh, he got mental health problems. Oh, he got this. Bro, do I still got it?" He made light of that. I told you all he was playing with you. He waited just till the camera got up there on him. I always remember what T.O. told me. Like I said, T.O. said you have to know how to promote yourself. You have to do it in a way, that the others aren't doing it. And you have to make them believe it. Him and his pops, they understand what that consists of, man. They understand how that consists, what that consists of. They understand the controversy sells, and they know just the right actors to put in there. That's what they do, man. This is what, 2 or 3 times they really got it dialed in. You know what I'm saying? They really have it dialed in perfectly. Because people were saying, "Oh, he's not there. He's not this. He's not mentally stable to go in there with a fight like Josh Taylor. T.O. getting stopped." I'm like, man, he's good at what he does, bro. He's really good, T.O. T.O. and his pops is really good at what they do. You know what I'm saying? Like, he gave you both sides of the spectrum, right? This is how I say that Lopez is good. Him and his pops, right? They gave you the personal side, right? They're willing to take you there. They're willing to take you to the personal side. Gave it to you. And then they took you to the boxing side. He say, I want to kill Josh Taylor in the ring. So now he got you zoomed in to both sides, his opponent and his personal life. Is that not content? Absolutely it is. Absolutely. It is content. And people was drawn into it so much to the point where they doubted that T.O. will go in here and win this title in his third fight at 140 pounds. Let's look at his accolades. T.O. is 25 years old. His accolades is the WBA lightweight championship, WBC franchise lightweight championship, IBF lightweight, and WBO lightweight, and the ring lightweight championship. What he picked up yesterday was a WBO super lightweight and the ring super lightweight. I mean, those are some commendable accolades at the end of the day. I tried my best to explain to you that T.O. is a special fighter. He is a special fighter. He has just enough of everything that a fighter wants. But he has that little edge to him where some of the things he do, you really have to be in that headspace to do it. Yeah, you got to believe your own sauce. You have to believe your own sauce. The way he do shit with a straight face, you have to believe yourself. The way he moves around and dance and get into the rhythm, he kind of gives you that Emmanuel Augustus a little bit when he starts to get into the rhythm and groove and start landing those punches. He give you that. You know what I'm saying? He believes in what other people don't believe in. He would tell you some shit and people like, man, please, he's just talking. Just like the retirement. I don't know if he's retiring, but he said he might retire because he ain't getting paid enough money. See, others look at that shit and they say, oh man, he's just ducking. I heard it already. He's just ducking. But they'll forget the stance that he took when he was stepping in there with Vasyl Lomachenko. Do you know some of these same people were saying that he was trying to duck Lomachenko back then when this man was negotiating his purse? Teofimo was negotiating his purse with the pound for pound, like he wanted more money back then. And they say, how dare you with only 15 fights come in here and want to negotiate a purse? You ain't did shit. You just beat Richard Comey. You ain't did nothing. That's what I'm telling you. The mindset, you got to have that mindset as a businessman in boxing and as a fighter. You have to take control of your own career and you have to make people believe what you're doing has a purpose. So when T.O. sit up here and say he ain't getting paid enough, just think back at the time when they thought the fight between him and Lomachenko was going to be called off because he was being stubborn on the pay that he was getting. So he went from 1.2 to 2 mil. If that ain't anything, what? Come on now. That's not success. That's not what you're supposed to do. Don't they say boxing is a business, right? So if it's a business, let's not act like the fighters can't negotiate their worth. That's where all the drama comes in and the bitch assness when it comes to the situation with Crawford and Spence. They say it's a business and fighters should get this, but they want to make sure their Pacific fighter gets the business part of it and gets paid. No, the fighters in general should negotiate as much as they possibly can. And that's what T.O. did. That's what T.O. done. He negotiated the best he possibly could. And he said he might retire because he ain't getting paid enough money. You know what I'm saying? I doubt he's going to come off that belt because now he has leverage. He has leverage, y'all. If he fight any one of those champions up there, he has leverage. Teo has leverage, man. They always put themselves in a position to have leverage. Always. They place themselves in a position. If you continue to think that, he has the one loss and that's all you want to talk about, well, hey, Kambosos has lost since then. Okay, twice. He has lost since then. More people are talking about Teo now than they did before he was stepping in there with Kambosos. You know why? Because the fight had been delayed 3 times already. Kambosos stepped in there with Devin Haney and got the death by 1,000 jabs. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's talking about you. He went back in there and defended his title. Nobody's talking about Kambosos no more. And then, you have, Haney defending his titles against Lomachenko, who is a common opponent of Teofimo Lopez. Either one of those fights would be great. You know what I'm saying? Him fighting Gervonta at Gervonta Davis or Shakur Stevenson at 135, or him stepping up and fighting Teofimo Lopez. Like, both avenues would be lucrative if they can come to an agreeable purse. But right now, man, and I want to give a shout out to Tio. He did a hell of a lot in a short period of time. Him and Josh Taylor, their records are the same right now. You know what I'm saying? They both 19-1 as professionals. They both 19-1. So I'm really not concerned what Josh Taylor has going on. He is an older fighter, 32 years old. Tio broke his ass down in the fight yesterday. He landed some solid punches on Josh Taylor, which Taylor didn't think he'd be able to do, nor did he believe that Tio was that quick of a fighter. He didn't think his hand speed was that fast, and how accurate Lopez was. He underestimated. He didn't think. He just felt that, just because he was rehydrating, you know what I'm saying? He said he was at, what he say? He was at 155, 160, something like that. I don't know. I forgot what he said. Don't quote me on that. But he's pretty much, looking at how big he was. And I keep on telling people, yes, yeah, you can rehydrate up and put on size, but are you going to be able to maintain that endurance over time? You got fighters over here that has that engine. You know what I'm saying? They have an engine. They know exactly how much weight to put on, so they can, when you're getting tired and breaking down in the mid rounds, that's when they start to press the gas. So we seen Josh Taylor start to break down, slow up in that fight, while Teo just kept on, coming. I try to tell these people, man, Teo was good. I try to tell them, but they busy want to keep talking about freaking Cambozo, bro. Let that go, man. Let that go. I try to tell y'all, don't worry about that shit. He wasn't 100%, bro. I don't think he was 100% with Sandor Martin either. AW says it's true. Amanda has only fought like 16 times in the UFC. I saw a graphic that said she fought the most times as a female in the UFC at like 26 fights only. Expected like 23 fights. Well, she came in the sport in 08. Her, like I said before, her record is 23-5. I had to get back to it before I forget what I'm saying about Teo. But I get back to it. Karate Body said, you called it, bro. Good win. Pablo said, salute WCS. Salute, brother. I wasn't buying that mental health shit. I'm not a doctor. Teo posted on IG, retired at the top. Don't know if he's referring to himself. Yeah, I pretty much put that particular post right over here, on the frame that he took post fight. He said, what a relief, retired at the top. People are who they are. They pick and choose what they want to believe. And I don't know why people on the YTC talking about Teo shocked boxing. Teo didn't shock no boxing. He shocked boxing when he beat Vasil Lomachenko. He didn't shock nobody by beating Josh Taylor. Come on, man. He didn't shock nobody. That's just you being a casual to the sport. Some of y'all just a casual to the sport. You wasn't even, stand close to the whole situation. When Teo fight the way he fought Loma and Coleman, he's hard to beat. Personal issues and ego is what hurts Teo. Is it truly hurting him? Like when you say hurting him, did you see any type of pain inside the ring? Was it moments that you thought the Oliver McCall or the Andrew Galata situation was going to reinvent himself through vicariously through Teofimo Lopez? Did you think he was going to break down and start crying in the ring? Where did you see that at? You know what I'm saying? Just because he speak of personal problems, he's giving you something to latch on to. He's giving people something to latch on to. But in the fight, did you see anything as if he even said at the end he has to go fight for custody of his child? So did you see any place in the fight where people always like to say that, you know, his dad, he fired his dad, he didn't give him. Ultimately, the fighter has to come up with the plan. The fighter is the one-on-one. The fighter is the mano a mano. That's who's in there exchanging and trading. That's who is up there, you know what I'm saying, trying to come out the victorious. That's who's in there. That's the person that's in there. They busy hanging on to what he said prior to the fight. How did he look during the fight? That is the question. If he looked like he had personal problems that was controlling and distracting him in there, and Josh Taylor was just landing shots and Teofimo was taking punches, you know, and looking the worse for wear like he did with Kambosos, I can see. But dude was having fun in there, man. Like he was dancing around like he was with Campbell. Landing on 40 and 135 is nice. He got, yes, sir. That's big, man. How did they continue? You're talking about two controversial figures in boxing, right? You have a father, you have a son. They two of the most controversial figures in boxing. And every time they crack their lips open when it's time for T.O. to fight, people take it like it's motherfucking written in the Constitution. Like they take that shit like God himself wrote it. Why did they magnetize themselves to it so much? And since they do that, the Lopez's take full advantage of it. They say, okay, they're gonna listen to what we say. They think we crazy anyway. He's scared. He's scared. Nobody can beat my son. Nobody can. You know, that's his pops, man. He believe in that. You know what I'm saying? You know, the pops can be aggressive. T.O. be, you know, like he's the level-headed mediator. And then it's times when like we seen in the interview, when T.O. is the aggressor and out of control and need help, and the father come in there and try to be the mediator. Man, they really know how to play the audience, man. They really know how to manipulate the shit out of y'all. Tank versus T.O. mega fight, breaking boxing records, Floyd versus Manny record, and purse records. I agree, man. I agree. I totally agree. Real talk. Isn't that what I mentioned doing a live? I said, if you're talking about a fight that would just break crazy records, I'm talking about just like crazy records, dealing with the 135-pound division, 140 is T.O. getting a belt and Gervonta Davis fighting T.O. at 140. It breaks records. Just like you said, it breaks records. That fight right there, man, come on. Man, how they match up. You know what I'm saying? We already know what Tank has going on with his pay-per-view star power. T.O. with his star power and what he's been able to accomplish in boxing. Both of these guys are multi-division champions. It doesn't matter who you consider winning a secondary belt or super title. Both of these fighters at this point in time are known in boxing. And T.O., he earned more fans. You know, he did earn more fans after this fight. Period. You can say what you want, but he did. Let me check them out right quick. See, with Teofimo Lopez, just look at this shit. And on IG, he haven't even broke 1 million followers yet. He hasn't even broke 1 million followers yet. So this is what I'm talking about, the unique route to the pot of gold. Ryan Garcia has like 9 million, and he was able to make a purse that Tio has not made up to this point. But Lopez has did more in his career than Ryan, right? And you have to factor in that Ryan Garcia is what, 26? He's still young in the game too, 26. He may not ever in his boxing career be able to accomplish what Teo has accomplished. But boxing is a business. When it comes down to the money, he can say that I was the dance partner that stepped in there with Tank Davis to make that big check. That's where Teo is trying to get. Teo doesn't even have 1 million IG followers yet. Now, that's a way that he can get them. He can pay for them. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about Ryan Garcia has over 10 million IG followers now. Teofimo, at this point in time, only registering 841K. Is that hindering him when it comes down to, him getting that big paycheck? No. Like it was said, you know what I'm saying? Like Samar said, when it boils down to it, what he's been able to accomplish in the ring, what Tank has been able to accomplish, I think if that fight was to ever materialize, it would do great numbers. I think it would do larger numbers than Devin Haney, Teofimo Lopez. That's just me, because at the end of the day, Devin is undefeated. Gervonta is undefeated. I don't know how negotiations will go with that, because one thing about the Haneys, they do understand this is a business, and they do go in there negotiating like it's a business. Period. So that's not going to be easy. I can say the same thing about Teal them, but him being the Ring Magazine and the WBO title holder at 140, now he stepped ahead again of Devin. You know what I'm saying? Even though Devin Haney, he accomplished more than Tio at 135 with defending his titles and just sweeping the whole entire table. It's all about what have you done lately. And Tio once again has proven that I can go in there and I can show up and show out when it's time. And and that's where we at with it. Who's next for him? I don't know. I don't believe he's going to be retired. You know what I'm saying? You never know. The Lopez, they always have a plan. They always want to keep people talking about something. Him saying he's going to retire, he said it. I didn't say it. He said it. So look at it however you feel like, you know what I'm saying? Look at it however you see fit. It's a lot of heavy hitters up there. In my opinion, the easiest belt for him to go after to become unified at 140 is Rolando Romero. He stops him. But that'll be an easy belt for him to pick up. Now it sets him up for an even bigger fight. Now he had to pick of the litter at 140. He can fight Ryan Garcia or he can fight Gervonta Davis. You know what I'm saying? Those are really big fights for Tio if he's looking to get that Ryan Garcia purse. You know what I'm saying? He's not going to get that Gervonta Davis purse because, Davis is up here on pay-per-view and everything, and he has a whole nother stratosphere of star power when it comes down to it, because he's knocking guys out. He's getting them up out of there. Tio, he went the distance with Josh Taylor. He doesn't have that equalizing power. So the good thing about it, they respect Tio that he has power. But if him and Davis was going there and fight, they're gonna say, okay, now it's gonna come down to who has the better strategy and game plan to come in here and box. Who's the more tougher fighter? This, that, and the other. With Ryan Garcia, pretty much the jury was out prior to him even answering the first bell. People saying like, well, he's gonna get stopped, period. Because they went back the way he was dropped with Luke Campbell. Not only that, is that you really can't build up someone's confidence about you, right? You can't build up their confidence about you if you coming off of Manuel Targo and Javier Fortuna. Now, Tio has been on the canvas, right? We know that. Tio's been on the canvas, but you have to take a look at how, he was on the canvas the same way Sean Porter was when Errol Spence landed that left hook in the 11th round when they fought. His glove touched the ground. Tio might have rolled back a little bit on his heels and his glove touched the ground, whereas Sean Porter, he kind of leaned forward from being hit, and his glove touched the ground. The same thing with Floyd Mayweather when Zab Judah hit him, and the referee didn't call the knockdown, but his right glove touched the canvas too. Just a flash knockdown, but it's not a flash knockdown when this dude was touched up by Luke Campbell, who many don't consider to have power. People always look back at Ryan Garcia and saying, we don't know what his chin is like. And then it's the crazy part about it. When he does get hit flush, he gets back up. That was the wild part about it. I never thought he'd get up from a Gervonta Davis left hand, but he did. But yet he was still taken out with the left hand to the body. See, when it comes to Teo, people are going to go into that fight. If he fights Gervonta Davis with, well, it's a possibility that we will see Teo on the canvas, this, that, and the other. People are not looking at Gervonta Davis as being hit and touching the canvas because we don't have no film to look at. And him being in that situation, that predicament, there's no film out there. But at this point in time in his career, nobody's really talking about the Kambosos fight. Nobody's talking about the Kambosos fight, bro. And you notice I didn't mention the Sandor Martin because Teo damn near was dropped the same way he was. You know what I'm saying? When he fought George Kambosos, he was almost dropped the same way as Sandor in the Sandor Martin fight. But the reason I didn't mention it because Sandor Martin was extending his lead leg out there, and he just wanted to catch Teo coming in with that counter shot, that counter right hand. So Teo can kind of, stumble over his lead leg. So that was kind of like modified. Even though he did set the trap, Martin, he did set the trap. It was almost like a modified, if I can sell it, cool. If not, I'll try it again. And you can tell they worked on that during training camp. It was the exact same knockdown. His glove touched the ground, wasn't that too serious. Get back up. You know what I'm saying? So if he fights freaking Davis, if he fight Devin Haney, if he fight Ryan Garcia, I mean, all of them are pretty good money fights. You know what I'm saying? But the only thing about it is that Devin Haney, Teofimo, they're all on the same promotional banner. Whereas, Ryan Garcia, I'm not saying it's going to be impossible for him to make the fight because we just see him fight Gervonta Davis. It's not going to be impossible. But but I'm curious to know when it comes to money wise, is it possible for Teo the step in there with Gervonta Davis though? When it comes to negotiations, I think if they really wanted to make that fight, they'll make the fight. You know what I'm saying? Top rank. You know what I'm saying? Showtime. They'll make the fight. If they really want to fight, they can make it, I guess. Real talk. I guess. Y'all hold on for a second. All right, let me get to the chat. Shout to shout out to Shaw News, the Sox Experience, AK Showtime Shaw in the building. Salute the team Tucker on deck, man. Your T.O. killing it. Absolutely. Absolutely. He's doing what he's supposed to do, man. He got the people tuned in, whether it's for the right reason or for the wrong reason. You know what I'm saying? Tank versus T.O. Mega Fight 2024. It is, man. It is. It is. That's a crazy fight. That's a crazy fight. You know, Tank moving the 140. That fight will be at 140, no doubt about it. That fight will be at 140, no doubt about it. Man, that'll do crazy numbers on pay-per-view. Crazy numbers. You want to talk about trash talking? You want to talk about matching energy, one another's energy with one another? Man, both of these fighters been there already. They've been in that situation. Tio's game plan was very good. Got to give credit to Senior. Yeah, man, you got to give credit for them not only building the fight up the right way, but actually having a solid game plan. They got a solid team, man. A lot of people don't talk about their team, but you know what I'm saying? You got Joe over there. I mean, you got strength and conditioning that got him in tremendous shape. Tio didn't look tired at no point during that fight. Dude, they keep on sleeping on this man. And every time they slide into a better position than what they were. You know what I'm saying? He's already 3 fights into the 140-pound division. Already. He has the ring and the freaking WBO. Already, bro. Already. And know what's good? What's good with it? Salute to you. Rolly said he ain't fighting T.O., so I think he'll avoid that. No, I think them two, if it came down to doing what's good for the what's beneficial for the better good of business, I think he'll fight T.O. Seriously, I think he will. He already know what's going to happen. You know, he already know what's going to happen. You're talking about a fight where both of them can move around. Just put it this way in perspective, right? Just take it from Terrence Crawford and Sean Porter. They was friends. They was friends. They fought. It doesn't matter where they were signed up to. They was friends, and they pretty much like it wasn't truly, any type of severe, intensive aggression throughout that fight. Like, it only got bad, when he was told he was behind on the unofficial scorecards. That was it. At the end of the day, that was it. But they was friends. They fought. I don't see any difference between T.O. and Rolly. I don't see any difference, bro. I don't see any difference. They get the bag. Rolly will get his highest payday fighting T.O. Rolly is still looking for that payday. He's still looking to recover. See, Rolly, I heard what Adrian Broner said, and I'll say, damn, AB, true form. He called him retardo. But check this out, though. Rolly situation with Jackson Mariñez wasn't good. And then the fact that Tony Weeks stopped him against Barossa after he was down on the canvas. He needs a fight like T.O. And the reason why he can get away with that fight is because T.O. can bring him along just enough that people already know what's going to happen. But they would tune into the fight because Rolly still has that, like, well, he's a little bit unhinged, crazy. Is unpredictable. He believes certain shit that nobody else believed that he can do, but he himself is the a proven authority of his thoughts. Rolly Romero, man, he's his own little brain up in there, bro. But T.O. is the right guy to kind of give Rolly a push, and also Ryan Garcia. So let's just say Ryan Garcia moves into the position if Rolly still has the belt. People go see that fight because both of them have a common opponent in which they will stop. Okay. They'll see that fight. Boom. You take the winner. Teofimo fights the winner of Ryan Garcia, Rolly Romero. That'll do solid numbers. Absolutely. Teofimo fighting Ryan Garcia. What? That'll do good numbers too, but none of them be, none of the numbers will register the way Teofimo Lopez and Tank Davis. It's no way, especially after Tank and Ryan Garcia. Oh, absolutely not. Ooh wee, ooh wee wee. I agree with T.O. post fight comments stating that he can't keep fighting for $1 million purses. He has proven he's a superstar in boxing. He should be garnering bigger purses now. Well, Tank Davis is somewhat like the measuring, the ruler, the monetary ruler. He's came up without the extra baggage of titles and being able to take that route, which is just brilliant. You know what I'm saying? That's somewhat like the same highway that Floyd Mayweather took. I'm not saying Floyd Mayweather, his title situation matches up to Gervonta Davis, but Gervonta has been able to kind of like mirror Floyd in the fact that Floyd was never undisputed. Gervonta is not trying to be undisputed. Gervonta is on pay-per-view. Floyd made his money by people paying to see him lose. Gervonta is at that point right now. He's been at that point where people want to show up to see Gervonta lose, but also they want to see him win because he always goes in there and gives you that moment of suspense. He keeps you on the edge. He has the crowd in chaos. They waiting for that one shot. Boom, it lands. And they say, okay, that is. I'm good. I got my fix. It's just like everybody's just waiting to get their fix with Tank. Oh, I got my fix. That boy bad. God damn. Imagine. I mean, can T.O. do pay-per-view? It's just a weird dynamic, right? Like T.O. would shine like he did in picking up what Tank Davis doesn't care for. He can pick up the hardware. People know him. It's like, okay, if he want to cement another layer to his legacy, yes, he went ahead and picked up the titles, and we respect T.O. for that. He's did it again. But then he's not on pay-per-view like that. So there's a pay model. There's a purse model. You know what I'm saying? For fighters who aren't on pay-per-view. Usually that cap is like $2 million. You know what I'm saying? You're not getting a crazy amount of money like $2.5, $3, $4 million, and you ain't on pay-per-view like that. Pay-per-view is what brings in the damn numbers. But Gervonta Davis has shown people that he doesn't care anything too much about. I'm gonna say anything. He don't care too much about all these titles and shit, but he's caring about his pockets. He's already accomplished so much, just like AB. AB accomplished a lot early on. 4-weight world champion. AB is a future Hall of Famer. Gervonta Davis, 3-weight world champion, a future Hall of Famer. You know what I'm saying? It all, everybody's travels is different when it comes down to it. You know what I'm saying? This is dynamic what Tank is able to do. Tank could be doing T.O. a favor if he fought him. For real, Tank will be doing T.O. a favor if he fought him. Tank will be doing Devin Haney a favor if he fought him. He'll be doing Shakur Stevenson a favor if he fought him. That's just a fact. You can come up there and talk about whatever you want to with Tank. But when it comes down to his pay-per-views and what he's been able to gross with the numbers, those are always going to fall within the model of boxing being a business. It's always going to be that way, whether you like it or not. Rolly versus AB is going to be the most hilarious press conference we ever witnessed. See, that fight right there, let's just say if it does happen, I agree with you. Samar, it will be hilarious press conference. But Rolly is not a trash talker. One thing about Rolly, all he says is the same shit. He like calling people ugly. Okay. He like calling people ugly. If you just go back just a little bit, the first time he was supposed to fight Tank, it was the worst press conference that you will ever see in your boxing life. He got up there with a big ass chinchilla, whatever. He had a damn big ass jacket on in the heat. He was talking about how big his dick was compared with the Tank arms. You know what I'm saying? And I say, shit, if you stack like that, you need to be in porn. You need to be out here inventing your own freaking sexual goddamn brand or something. I don't know what the fuck to tell him. But that shit ended up getting canceled. But it was the worst press conference you will ever see in your motherfucking life. And then he came back around and the press conference was okay. I was expecting the press conference of Rolly Romero and Tank Davis to be somewhat like Ryan Garcia, Tank Davis. I expected him to be a lot worse. But the only one who got the bad end of it was Rolly. He got pushed off stage. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't there. AB, it's not too many people that can fuck with AB when it comes to trash talking. Point blank, period. AB does the exact same thing I mean, pretty much Tio does the exact same thing AB does. AB is one of those guys who is not as poker face as Teofimo Lopez. He would tell you some shit with like a smirk on his face, and you know he on some bullshit. But he talk his shit though. He ain't trying to make you believe it. But the shit AB say, man, is A1, like top level trash talking, bro. That's high level trash talking, man. You know, when he knows how to put certain things into it at the right moment. I mean, it wouldn't even be close with him and Rolly, bro. It wouldn't even be close, man. It wouldn't even be close. And then the way he fought Hutchins, or whatever. If AB wants to go in there and fight Rolly like that, it'll be a very entertaining fight. You know, because you got to think, not too long ago, Tank said the reason why, he didn't attack Rolly early on because he felt his power. That wasn't too many fights ago now. So Rolly had enough power for Tank to say, I get him later. And he started turning up at the end of the fourth into the fifth and stuff like that. He started, being more aggressive, closing distance. You know what I'm saying? But will AB be more reserved if he does get that shot with Rolly Romero? I don't know. What numbers would do if because truth be told, right? If AB goes in there and fights Rolando Romero, it's already been put out there that they've been trying to make Regis and Adrian Broner. So that if he does get the title, that unification would definitely be Adrian Broner and Regis Progress. This is all the way back for when Regis left the WBS, the World Boxing Series, and he was trying to make a fight with Adrian Broner as if they was gonna step in the ring together. So that's history there. They've been trying to make that fight forever and a day, man. But there's some situations in between that. I don't know if AB can make 140. I don't know if he can make 140, bro. I don't know. I don't know. But I do know, as far as first dibs, I don't think T.O. will get AB. I think AB win that title from Rolly. He's going right over there and getting a paycheck with Regis. The odd man out in this equation might be Subriel Matias because he has no star power. Like, the only thing that Teofimo will benefit off him is the IBF title. That's it. Because he has no star power, bro. I'm being honest with you. He has no star power whatsoever. Blunt's AB called him a retardo. He said, Rolo. what he said, what's his name? Rolo? Whatever his name is, retardo. I'm telling you, Adrian Broner is one of the best trash talkers in the sport, man. Blunt's AB gonna call him retardo, and Rolly gonna get up and try to run towards AB to headbutt him, bro, like a rhino. Hey man, that shit won't be close, man, when it comes to trash talking. Rolly doesn't have it. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't have that get back right off the rip. He has to be coached. Like if you look at the interview that he did with Brian Custer in the comfort of his own home, it seems like he was more comfortable in that setting and he can talk his shit because he actually came up with some good comebacks, right? Some good responses. He did. He came up with some good responses. But if put him out in front of everybody and it's really nobody to, say that he Rolly come off to me as a person that has kind of like anxiety issues, so um he's not that good of a trash talker in public. That's all I'm saying. They're gonna want Tio to start repping Puerto Rico heavy to make it bigger. Why would he rep Puerto Rico though? Why would he rep Puerto Rico? He's not Puerto Rican. Tio's for Honduras. You know what I'm saying? You talking any he reps Honduras. He's not going to represent Puerto Rico because he's not Puerto Rican. Shout out to True Me This Day USA Boxing. What's good? Don't forget to hit the like for WCS. Appreciate you, Coach. Y'all definitely check out Coach. You know what I'm saying? Great fight party last night. You know what I'm saying? Y'all definitely be sure to go over there and check out Coach Malachi every weekday at 3 p.m. 1500 military time. Now, Regis just tweeted like 5 to 6 times trying to figure out why AB didn't say his name. Why would he say his name unless that's gonna be the fight? See, he can't say, look, Regis can't feel no type of way about AB not saying his name when freaking Errol Spence didn't say Crawford's name. He can't feel no type of way. Maybe it's something different. I don't know. These dudes got something else going on with the format. You know what I'm saying? With the code, the code, you know what I'm saying? The code enforcement may be different now. It may be different numbers right now. I don't fucking know. The code enforcement might be different when it comes to them calling out and talking trash and linking up a fight. I mean, we just seen the whole press conference where this man didn't even mention Crawford's name and they fighting in one of the biggest fights in boxing. I digress. I digress to the next comment. AB looked like he plenty weight to lose at the weigh-in. Hey, man. He made weight, though. He made weight. And, he went in there. I know people were saying that he went in there and did what he did with a fighter that he wasn't worried about. Well, what you expect him to do? Make it look, drawn out so people can see, okay, that's the old AB. For what? He don't get paid overtime, so he's supposed to go in there and make that shit look like it's supposed to. Get in, get out, get it over with, done. Talk your shit on the mic and go home. Pick up that check and go home, I don't think AB will F with Regis. The fans on Twitter seem like they don't want to see nothing but Regis and Matias. And a lot was frowning at the fact that Regis was pressed about AB. Well, you can't. I look at it like this, Munch. You can't totally blame Regis for being pressed with AB when he's been a co-conspirator for them trying to make that fight. Like I said, when he jumped out of the World Boxing Series before he fought Josh Taylor, he was talking about AB. I'll fuck you up. I'll fuck you up, AB. That was way back when. Just think about it. And throughout, the time, I know AB been out the sport and this, that, and the other, but Regis has always had this attachment to want to fight AB. You know what I'm saying? So if they was asking him at the press conference about AB, he is a freaking inciter, if that's even a word, of bringing AB's name. He is a instigator with that too. Just because AB didn't say your name, that's once again, he's trying to say you should say my name to build up this fight because somehow Regis wants Adrian Broner. He was even in his vehicle. You know what I'm saying? And somebody asked him about fighters that he would like to fight on 2 different occasions recently. And he said he'd like to fight AB. So therefore, we might not even see a fight between Rolly and AB. We might see Regis and AB. It all depends. Regis been wanting that fight forever. Regis has been somewhat infatuated with locking horns with Adrian Broner. Seriously. He's been. Seriously, he has, bro. He has. He's been the co-conspirator to that, man. He's been talking AB's name for a long time. I don't know what's gonna come of it, but yeah, that's where it's been, bro. AB went 10 rounds with the lawyer. He's not ready for Regis, but it'll sell tickets. And one thing people always forget, I'm not saying all of you forget, but one thing people forget is that AB's never been stopped. He has that Wall Street to the value of his name still when it comes to boxing. No matter how many losses he got, he still hasn't been stopped. So really, he's gonna bring that into a fight with Regis. The fact that he haven't been stopped. He's a 4-weight world champion. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he still has value, man. He can talk his shit. He signed with Don King. I mean, people still like AB. Even though he went in there and fought a Gardner, it's still going to be like people saying, well, I like to see AB and Regis. Yeah. Because I don't think nobody ever stopped him. Just like the fight with Xander Zayas. He's not in the same reference as AB, his opponent, Cruz, right? But Cruz never been stopped before. So when Zayas knocked him down in the first round, people thought it was just going to be easy work from then on, but it wasn't. You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't. Just like AB, when Marcus Maidana, one of his best fights he ever had, for real, when Marcus Maidana knocked down AB several times, they thought it was over. And AB boxed and fought his way to the final bell. That was one of his toughest fights in his career, and AB still fought the Argentinian OG, Marcos Maidana, to the final bell. Man, come on. Dude is tough, bro. Dude is tough, man. AB's tough, man. Say what the fuck you want to say. That man's tough, bro. And Regis is tough. You know what I'm saying? Regis is tough too now. That fight he had with Josh Taylor. Hey. That was a good fight, man. We'll see. We'll see how that's going down. You know what I'm saying? He's not gonna get credit for this last opponent, but yet people been wanting to see AB back in the square, and we got it. Lights, camera, action. Get the win. Who's next? If I was the matchmakers, real talk, if I was anybody in the AB ear, I would definitely say, well, it'd be better for you to fight Rolly. So AB can be world champion again. Isn't that what he's saying? AB saying he's going to be world champion again with Don King. So how is he going to be a world champion? He going to pick up the WBA regular title? Is that going to be it? Or he going to fight for that WBA super title? Which one is it going to be? Because I think that's the avenue that's easiest for him. Going the WBC route with Regis is not easy at all. Subriel Matias, not easy at all. And Adrian Broner is not going to pick Matias because who knows Matias, man? Like he's not a name like that. Yeah, he's a champion, but what else is it? Where's the flame? Where's the flame at? We're looking for the flame. What does it start? I'm saying, where's it start? Can we just find one little flame? Where? Nobody's calling. Out of all the champions, Rolly has more notoriety than Subriel Matias. Rolly, bro. All three of them other champions, from T.O. to Rolly to Regis, has more notoriety and exposure than Subriel Matias, in my opinion. A lot of people don't even know Matias was the one who was in the ring with Detta Chef before he died. They really don't know. I mean, he had his hair different back then. I mean, he punished him, but don't too many people know. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Don't too many people know. My first reaction to seeing the news, you were always a high caliber fighter. But for me, it does not dismiss the BS and disrespect. Who gives a F about watered down Hall of Fame? There's a lot of people give a damn about the Hall of Fame. There's a lot of boxers want to wear that jacket. A lot. I mean, that's your career. You know what I'm saying? And one of the long-standing sports, combat sports, in the history of modern and freaking pastime. You know what I'm saying? The past and the current. Like boxing has been around for so long, man. It might have been different type of boxing, different rules, of course, from bare knuckle to now, where it's at right now with, equipment on your hands and all that. But as far as disrespect, we really have to go back. We can go back to the old school and they had disrespect, but nobody's gonna talk about that shit. You know what I'm saying? It was fighters doing some crazy shit back then, bro. That don't nobody talk about. Monzoon, man, look what he did to his wife, man. Look what he did to his wife. Yeah, he ended up having an accident, but look what he did to his wife, man. Is that not bad enough? Is that not bad enough for people to talk about? Sugar Ray Robinson. He used to beat the shit out of his girl. You want to talk about disrespect? He used to do it in front of the kid. You know what I'm saying? You talking about putting hands and disrespect. Boxing has been in situations where you have fighters who did disrespectful stuff that just because they're older fighters, veterans, people don't talk about it as much because they just don't have the knowledge about it. But disrespect has been going on forever. Forever. You know what I'm saying? Disrespect, even with Ali. You know what I'm saying? It was disrespect. This sport is not a perfect sport. There's people in it who are humans who have did some disrespectful shit. It's all about common knowledge. If we have common knowledge, then we're able to speak on it. What Teofimo is doing and what some of these other fighters have done is light. It's motherfucking light. What Tank has done is light compared to some of these fighters that was back then. You know what I'm saying? Avid users of cocaine. You know what I'm saying? The testing is different back then. I mean, come on, bro. It was beast mode back then. Like real talk. You know what I'm saying? It was beast mode back then, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. It was beast mode back then, man. You know, a lot of these fighters used to drink before coming into the ring. They used to come in the ring intoxicated. You know, you hear all these stories about the way these dudes used to live and still compete on a frequency that they did. These guys used to fight all that time. You think they didn't need something to wash the misery away? These motherfuckers need a lot, dog. They need to wash the misery away, dog. Come on, man. Hey, Conquest, salute to you being on deck, man. I'm just saying. I mean, we're not really talking about like slavery and boxing. We're talking about the actions of a man that boxed. We're talking about the actions of a man that boxed. There were several individuals out there, several fighters all over the sport who did things that were questionable. You know what I'm saying? Who did things that was questionable back then, whether it was not being clean for the sport, on cocaine, domestic violence, or um, violence in the street. You know what I'm saying? Dealing with the mob, betting on fights. You know what I'm saying? You pick your poison. You pick your poison. It was a lot going on back then. I mean, y'all can say with T.O. because T.O. is right here in your face. And like I said earlier, he does things that make people think, damn, what the fuck wrong with this dude? Is he okay? This, that, and the other. He passed medicals, y'all. They don't give you a psyche eval when you're going through medicals. That's how lenient it is. They don't give you a psyche eval. They don't give you a psyche eval, bro. I mean, a lot of things changed from boxing back then. We know that. But a shout out to T.O., man. Shout out to T.O. and wherever he has next. On to the next, as we call it. You know what I'm saying? It's the 11th. We finally got this fight that we wanted, and it turned out to be great. You know what I'm saying? Who he fight next? I have no idea. The man talking about retirement. I don't know who he's gonna do fight next, what he's gonna do, but we'll see. I would like to see Jihad Tucker and Xander Zayas fight, though. I'd definitely like to see that fight, especially once again, his performance yesterday, his last performance, Jihad's last performance. That'll be a good matchup. Hopefully, Top Rank is able to make that fight, and certain people, don't whine and cry about, certain people being in the same proximity, or this person saying that about me. I don't want to. Hey, boxing is about challenges, right? So if you're up for the challenge, man, there shouldn't be an issue. Just go up here and sign the paper so we can kind of see what's popping. Jihad's due on deck July 1st. He go ahead and get this victory. People really should be thinking about like what's really going on at the 154-pound division. Like, people was sitting up here looking at the Tower Inferno. They jacked him over once he got to the top. You know what I'm saying? He thought he was going to get a title shot. He was talking about coming down to 47 and fighting Spence. I told people the first time he take a loss, it's going to be via knockout, and it was. So now you have a guy that beat him, and really no one, he gained a little bit of exposure, but, most people are talking about Tim Tszyu. Most people are talking about Tim Tszyu rather than Sebastian Fundora. And there was this like Sebastian Fundora did everything you're supposed to do. He had that fight with Erickson Lubin. He was up there fighting them dudes. He's like 6'5", 6'6", whatever. He was doing what he's supposed to do. Now you got Tim Tszyu, and everybody's looking at Tim Tszyu like, that's who I want to see. I want to see Tim Tszyu, especially after his performance with Tony Harrison, go in there and fight Jamel Charlo. But he got Carlos Ocampo before that. The same Carlos Ocampo that went the distance with Sebastian Fundora. You know what I'm saying? Is anybody really looking for this? Like, is anybody ever looking for this? Like, one thing about Ocampo, he hasn't been stopped yet at 154 pounds. He hasn't been stopped. You know what I'm saying? Errol Spence stopped in 147. He went to Mexico for like 12 fights. He returned back to the U.S., and he's been fighting back. Now he has fighting back in the U.S. Now he has that fight with freaking Tim Tszyu. So there's more people talking about Tim Tszyu. So 154 pound, Xander is in the rankings. You know what I'm saying? Jihad is looking to get in the rankings. You know what I'm saying? That's a good fight. Both of them young, and they both 20. Xander has freaking 16 wins now. Jihad has 10 victories. He's set to return July 1st. So that's right. That's right around a good time, to get this popping by the end of 23. But I doubt it happened, though. I ain't gonna lie. I doubt it happened this year. I doubt it happened. Real talk. But that's all I got on this topic, man. I just wanted to give y'all post-fight on this. Remember, Teo did what he's supposed to do. Check out the accolades. You know what I'm saying? And until next time, turn up and tune in to World Combat Sports. Like, share, and sub. Hit the like button on your way out. And we'll do it again. I'm out. Peace.